If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
Stop what you're doing, because history just happened. This wasn't just a sneaker release, it was a cultural earthquake. Caitlin Clark's Nike Kobe PE didn't just sell out, it vanished in minutes. Websites crashed, lines wrapped around stores, and resale prices went through the roof before most fans could even click Add to Cart. And here's the wild part. This isn't just about a shoe. This is about a shift in the entire sports world, a moment that announced to everyone, from casual fans to billion-dollar brands, that women's sports have officially arrived. And at the center of it all, Caitlin Clark, rewriting the rules of the game one historic moment at a time. And trust me, what happened after this release will leave you speechless. What happened at 10 a.m. was pure madness. At exactly 10 a.m. Eastern, the frenzy began. Thousands of fans refreshing their browsers, anxiously waiting for that Buy Now button to appear. In stores, the scene was straight out of a blockbuster. Fans camping overnight, lines stretching around the block, and employees barely able to keep up with the chaos. One dad even posted on X that he'd been in line since 3 a.m. just to make sure his daughter got a pair. By 11 a.m., the $190 Kobe PEs, painted in Indiana Fever colors, were completely gone. And if you missed out, you were staring at resale listings asking $400, $500, even $800. But here's the thing. The sneaker frenzy was just the beginning of a much bigger story.
But they just announced breaking news right now. We have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon, with signature shoes coming in 2026. Now, this is going to be her logo for all of her Nike stuff that is Caitlin Clark official stuff, just like
this is the logo, the two CCs intertwined together. Somebody said it looked a lot like a 1950s airline logo, and I was like, I kind of see that.
It's not just a logo, it's a declaration. When Caitlin Clark revealed that sleek double C design, two interlocking letters with a subtle third C hidden in the negative space, the sports world stopped to take notice. This wasn't just a branding exercise, it was a statement. The clean, modern lines scream confidence and precision, while that hidden third C tells the story of a game built from the inside out, through relentless work, quiet belief, and the drive to be great. One fan on Instagram said it perfectly. It's not just a logo, it's a reminder that hard work pays off. Owning that merch isn't just about a t-shirt or a pair of sneakers. It's about owning a piece of history. And Nike wasn't done making history just yet.
And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line.
Caitlin Clark, of course, her name. I've joked about this situation for a while when people wonder what was going on with Nike. And I just can't imagine they would sign her to the deal that they did and then not eventually have some big product on the way. And of course, she is part of the partnership as well. Perhaps she could have been promoted more in the meantime. But regardless, she's so popular, all you got to do is drop a link.
Everyone said Nike fumbled. Turns out they were just waiting to strike. For months, critics claimed Nike was dropping the ball. Where's the merch? Where's the shoe? Why aren't they pushing Clark harder? They asked. But now, it's clear what was happening behind the scenes. Nike wasn't stalling. They were building. Every move, every detail, every piece of strategy was about timing the moment perfectly. And when they finally pulled the trigger, they didn't just launch a product. They ignited a movement. This wasn't a quick cash grab. It was a carefully calculated play to make Caitlin Clark the centerpiece of something much bigger. A cultural shift in the way women athletes are marketed and celebrated. And if you think that's an exaggeration, just wait until you see the numbers.
It looked like Caitlin Clark just gifted her entire team her signature merch, but it wasn't just the team. Every fan that shows up to Gamebridge tonight will get the first release of Caitlin Clark's signature merchandise from Nike. Caitlin Clark is simply the talk of the internet today. Her and Taylor Swift broke the damn internet. Yes, bro. And for all the people that was hitting me up about Caitlin Clark's signature logo, somebody said it looked like Chanel. I said it looked like Gucci. But whatever it is a luxury sports brand. I can't think of very many luxury sports brands.
The numbers aren't hype, they're history. Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever jersey didn't just sell well. It became the second best-selling basketball jersey in the world. In 2024, second only to Steph Curry. Her Nike Kobe PEs? They're being flipped on secondary markets for as much as $800 a pair. And Nike's stock? It jumped another 3% after her logo reveal, continuing a rally that's already up 17% this quarter. These aren't random spikes. This is the Caitlin Clark economy in action. Every drop, every game, every viral highlight sends shockwaves through the industry, proving her influence goes far beyond the hardwood. And those shockwaves are reshaping the WNBA itself.
And all it took was for her to take to social media to make this announcement, for everybody to go into a frenzy, and for, I think, the vibes to pick up just a little bit. It's that genuine love the fans have for Caitlin Clark. And the logo, pretty dope. Pretty dope, if I do say so myself. You see it right there. That's the look at it from the truck. They're going to be having to back up Brinks trucks to deal with all the orders that are coming for that sucker. But Caitlin Clark makes the announcement, says that the signature line is on the way in 2020.
One player, billions in impact. Caitlin Clark now drives over a quarter of the WNBA's total economic activity. A staggering statistic that shows just how far-reaching her influence really is. Analysts are projecting her impact could help push the WNBA toward $1 billion valuation by 2025, something that seemed impossible just a few years ago. From ticket sales to TV deals, from sponsorships to merchandise, every corner of the league is benefiting from the Clark effect. And Nike isn't just along for the ride, they're fueling that momentum, building a partnership that's breaking barriers and setting a new standard for how female athletes are valued and marketed. But what makes her unstoppable isn't just her talent, it's her authenticity. This is why fans connect, because she's real. What makes Caitlin Clark so magnetic isn't just her skill, it's her authenticity. She doesn't chase headlines or force herself into narratives. She just shows up, competes, and lets her game do the talking. In a sports world full of noise, that quiet confidence speaks louder than anything. Fans see themselves in her. The young girl saving for a jersey, the dad camping outside a store to buy his daughter her first pair of Clark PEs, the fan halfway across the world refreshing Nike's app just for a chance to feel closer to her journey. That connection has created a brand that feels personal, and that's why it's unstoppable. And Nike knows exactly how to build on that connection. If you thought this drop was wild, just wait for the big one. The Kobe PE chaos was just a preview. In 2026, when Caitlin Clark's first signature shoe finally drops, it won't just be another sneaker release. It'll be a global event. Nike is taking its time, working with Caitlin every step of the way to create a product that's not just stylish and functional, but iconic. Industry experts are already predicting $100 to $150 million in revenue from that first release alone, putting her sneaker line among the most successful launches in basketball history, men or women. And when that shoe finally hits shelves, expect lines, expect sold-out signs, and expect history to be made. And that's just the beginning of a cultural revolution. This isn't just about basketball, it's about changing the game. Caitlin Clark's rise is forcing a complete rethinking of how women athletes are seen and valued. No longer niche, no longer an afterthought. She's proving that women's sports can drive revenue, move markets, and create cultural moments that rival, and sometimes surpass, the men's game. And Nike? They're betting big, positioning her as the face of this revolution. This is more than a partnership, it's a movement, one that could redefine the entire sports industry for generations to come. Fans aren't just watching history, they're part of it. And nothing shows her impact more than the way people watch her play. When Caitlin plays, the whole world watches. Look at the numbers. Caitlin Clark's games average over 1 million viewers, nearly 3 times the audience of other WNBA matchups. And when she was sidelined with that groin injury earlier this season, ratings dropped by as much as 40%. That's not hype. That's proof of her gravitational pull. For networks, sponsors, and brands, Caitlyn isn't just a player. She's a ratings guarantee, a walking headline, and the spark that's bringing an entirely new audience into the sport. And the ripple effect of that reach is lifting the entire league. Everyone thought Nike was asleep. They weren't. They were plotting. Nike's approach to Caitlin Clark is proof that sometimes the smartest play is patience. From the very beginning, they knew they weren't just signing an athlete. They were investing in a generational icon. Instead of rushing to flood the market with rushed products, they quietly built a strategy designed for longevity. Every detail, from the clean, sharp design of her logo to the perfect timing of her first product launch, was methodically planned to build something permanent. And now, with each drop, you can see the vision coming to life. They've turned Caitlyn into more than just a player. They've positioned her as a cultural force whose influence will stretch far beyond her playing career. This isn't just a marketing plan. It's the blueprint for a legacy that will define women's sports for decades. The louder the critics get, the bigger the numbers grow. From the very start, people doubted her impact. They said the hype would fade, that the attention would shift, that the market would cool off. But every time those predictions surface, Caitlyn proves them wrong. And the numbers back her up. Jerseys don't just sell out, they disappear in seconds. Shoes hit resale markets for triple their retail price before the original buyers even receive them. Nike's stock climbs higher, powered by the Clark effect, while millions tune in every time she steps on the court. What we're seeing isn't just hype, it's history. Caitlyn has reached that rare status where her influence extends beyond the sport, reshaping how an entire industry values women athletes. Critics can talk all they want, but one look at the data makes it crystal clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the conversation, she is the conversation. This isn't just about a player, it's about a movement that's changing everything. The timing of Caitlyn's rise couldn't be better. The WNBA just locked in a $2.2 billion media rights deal, tripling its revenue and ensuring better coverage and resources for years to come. And at the center of that surge, the same player whose logo broke the internet and whose sneakers crash websites within minutes. Networks are battling for the rights to her games, brands are lining up for partnerships, and franchises that once struggled to sell tickets are now seeing record-breaking attendance, all because of the Clark effect. She's turned what was once a niche league into a cultural conversation, reaching audiences across demographics and continents. This is bigger than basketball. This is the moment women's sports have been waiting for, and Caitlin Clark is the one holding the torch. Caitlyn's rise isn't just her story, it's reshaping everyone else's too. Every move she makes sends waves across the league. When her jersey became the second best seller in the world, it didn't just boost her brand, it drove up sales for other players too. Stores that once carried a handful of WNBA jerseys now can't keep them in stock. When her games drew record-breaking ratings, rival teams saw their own broadcasts picked up nationally, exposing them to new fans they never had before. And when Nike's partnership exploded, other WNBA stars started landing bigger, better deals because brands suddenly realized the value of investing in women athletes. That's the true definition of the Clark effect, one player creating opportunities that lift an entire sport. And the best part? Caitlyn doesn't hoard the spotlight. She consistently credits her teammates, her coaches, and even her opponents, turning her success into something that benefits the whole league. Caitlyn didn't follow the blueprint. She wrote her own. For years, female athletes were told to fit into boxes, be grateful, be quiet, and take whatever exposure they could get. Caitlin Clark ignored all of that. She didn't wait for the spotlight to find her. She earned it with her game, and when it came, she didn't shy away. Instead, she turned it into a platform to elevate everyone around her. Her confidence, her authenticity, and her willingness to speak with her performance instead of chasing gimmicks have made her impossible to ignore. What we're seeing is an athlete who knows her worth and refuses to let anyone define her limits. That's why brands are lining up. That's why fans trust her. And that's why her impact isn't just in the box score. It's in the culture she's building with every step she takes. Behind the highlights is a billion-dollar blueprint. Caitlin Clark's rise isn't just about talent. It's about strategy. Every partnership she signs, every campaign she participates in, is carefully chosen to feel authentic and true to who she is. When fans see her in a Nike ad or wearing her logo, it doesn't feel like a cash grab. It feels real. That trust is priceless, and it's why her brand is growing faster than anyone expected. The numbers don't lie. Her drops sell out instantly. Her merch floods social media, and her presence drives engagement at levels most athletes can only dream about. And that's just the beginning. When her signature shoe launches in 2026, the impact will go beyond revenue. It will rewrite the rules of sports marketing, proving once and for all that when you invest in women athletes, the returns can be just as powerful, if not more so, than the biggest men's releases. Caitlin Clark isn't just America's star, she's becoming a global icon. From Tokyo to London, fans are staying up late or waking up early just to watch her play. International orders for her logo apparel are flooding Nike's system, and even overseas sports networks are starting to pick up WNBA broadcasts to meet the demand. What started as a domestic phenomenon is quickly becoming a global movement. Young athletes across the world are following her highlights, emulating her game, and even calling her their inspiration on social media. And Nike sees it too, already planning international drops, special global campaigns, and expanded events that will bring Caitlin's brand to every corner of the world. This isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about building a global platform for women's sports, with Caitlin Clark leading the way. This isn't just about sports, it's about changing the culture. Caitlin Clark is living proof that when you invest in women, the returns are exponential. For the first time, little girls can look at a female athlete and see the same level of visibility, respect, and financial backing that has always been reserved for men. And for the first time, little boys are wearing WNBA jerseys, lining up for women's games, and cheering just as loudly for their favorite female players. That's how you change generations, by normalizing greatness in every form. Brands are finally waking up to this reality, investing more money, more airtime, and more respect into women athletes than ever before. And at the center of it all is Caitlin, using her influence not to build walls but to open doors. Doors that will stay open long after her playing days are done. The game will never be the same, and that's a good thing. The WNBA is no longer just fighting for attention, it's commanding it. Sponsors are investing record amounts, networks are battling for broadcast rights, and arenas that once sat half empty are now packed to capacity. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about the momentum. Young players are seeing a league that is finally being valued for what it is: elite, competitive, and worthy of the spotlight. Caitlin Clark's rise has forced the industry to evolve, and in doing so, she's ensured that the next generation won't have to fight the same battles. The opportunities being created now, bigger salaries, better marketing, and more visibility, will shape the WNBA for decades to come. And that's a legacy that no amount of stats can measure. We're not just watching history, we're watching a legacy being built in real time. Every shot she takes, every record she breaks, and every product that sells out adds to a story that will be told for generations. Years from now, people will look back and talk about the Clark era, about how one player changed not just a league but an entire industry. She's more than a basketball player now. She's a brand, a movement, and an inspiration for millions around the world. And the most exciting part? This is just the beginning. The chapters still to be written, the championships, the signature releases, the global tours, will only add to a legacy that's already cemented in the history books. Caitlin Clark isn't just making noise in the moment. She's building something that will last forever. If you think this is big, you haven't seen anything yet. What we're witnessing right now, the sold-out drops, the packed arenas, the insane merchandise numbers, is just the spark. The explosion is coming in 2026 when Caitlin Clark's first signature shoe finally hits the market. And when it does, it won't just be a sneaker release, it'll be a global event that shuts down websites, floods social media, and dominates headlines for weeks. Nike knows it, the league knows it, and every fan who's been watching this story unfold knows it. That moment will do more than cement Caitlin as the face of women's basketball. It'll set a new standard for how female athletes are valued, marketed, and celebrated around the world. So buckle up, because if this is what the beginning looks like, the future is going to be absolutely electric. And if you've been loving this ride, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because this story, it's only just getting started, and you won't want to miss what comes next.